So by now, most of you should know, my name is Yusef Scott, and I want to welcome you to the So Darn Easy Forex University. Alright, so I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day watching this video. Very thankful to have you guys here. I realize you guys can be anywhere. You guys can be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere on Vimeo, anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, but you're watching this video right now because you are hungry for success. You are ready to learn how to trade the Forex market, or you're ready to get reprogrammed, or you're ready to see things from a different perspective so you can realize success in the market or whatever venture you're on. All right. Now, as I always tell you guys, like I said before, very thankful to have you guys here. Also, if you're not yet connected with us on social media, please get there. All right. Please connect with us on social media. Now, I want to this video today is going to be about a question that came in, from someone. Actually, a former student had asked me a question. David asked me a question. How did I deal with, success with family, friends? And I believe what he was really wanting to say is, how did my success change, in a good or bad way, my position with family and friends? So let me explain this to you all, because most of us will deal with this type of change when you realize success in trading Forex or whatever venture you're in. All right. Now, so let me go back to my position of when I first got started in Forex. Prior to trading Forex, I was successful, of course, with real estate. When I was employed, I did make pretty decent money. So I was always a hard worker, worked long hours. I did very well for myself. All right. And one of the things in my family, at least within my siblings, they all looked at me as being someone who, they knew that they could come to me for advice. All right, they would come to me and ask, hey, listen, what do you think about this, that, and the third? How do you do this? How do you do that? So they knew that they had a level of trust. There was a level of trust with me. They knew that I was level-headed. Of course, they have seen that they know all the things that I've gone through years prior. But they've seen me bounce from that low, and they've seen where I was going, where I was headed. They didn't see me fall apart, start using drugs and all kinds of crazy stuff that people they normally resort to. I was actually one who I used that those negative aspects to motivate me to go forward. So if you think about where I've been, think about all the bad that I've gone through, and you look at how I transitioned that, within my siblings, they always looked at me as, okay, as my nickname is Fat Boy. They said, well, Fat Boy, he got it, he got things together. They knew that they could confide in me, they can come to me for advice. So as I started getting to different things, I started introducing things to family, and that's when I started to realize, everything is not for everybody, okay? And me being younger at the time, of course, you want to make sure that your family is taken care of. Your family's good. What you get into, your family get into. So I remember this one venture, I got into it, and I was telling my family about it, and I said, listen, all I need is this from you and that from you, and everything's going to work out. There was absolutely no risk involved. There was no risk involved. You just provide me this information, and boom, you can see some results. And it didn't pan out that way. Okay, of course, opportunities, you guys know, like real estate, just like Forex, every opportunity is not a good opportunity. You may not lose anything, but there may be a break even. There may not be a gain at the end of the day. Well, long story short, some of my family members, they start saying, well, Fat Boy, he wasted our time with this. So because I started hearing, I said, you know what? I don't want to hear that anymore. So I started to focus on, let me just focus on, I wasted time trying to get people to see things and be hungry as I was then, as I still am, and trying to get people to to come up with me. And, certain people in the family. So what had happened was, I told myself, I cannot hold myself back or worry about what they think. It's not going to be for everybody. So let's move forward. Dabbled into real estate, of course, stocks, penny stocks, all these things. So let's talk about Forex now. So Forex, of course, me being the person who I am, my family, everyone, when you get to a different level, people are going to notice. Because they can see, oh, he's starting to do this, or oh, she's starting to do this. Oh, how are they able to do this? People, they start noticing, oh, and then, of course, people, they start talking. Oh, Fat Boy thinks he's this. Oh, Shanice thinks she's that. Or, whatever it may be. People, they start talking. When they start seeing that you're growing, or they start seeing that you're becoming successful, they start talking and say, well, they're starting to change, or they think they're better than, this, that, and the third. So these are the types of things, not saying that I went through all of this, but these are the types of things that you would go through when you start making this transition from, maybe not doing so good, or making that transition and seeing yourself start to grow. But for me, what really, I guess the things that I had to endure was family coming to me for let me get a loan, let me borrow this, let me borrow that. And that became problemsome because at the end of the day, any amount of money that I make, I have to pay taxes on. And if people constantly saying, gimme, and not repaying, it's a problem. And then when this is something that I had to go through. I had to go through family telling me, well, like I said before, family would tell me, well, you got all this and you can't even help me do that. But forgetting about the things that I've already done. And one thing for certain is when you start to get into a different, if you want to call it tax bracket, when you start realizing that, okay, man, I'm starting to make the same salary, in a month that I was making in a year. When you start doing these types of things, it's like people, they start seeing you and they start saying, well, why should I have to borrow this? He's good for that. Look what he's making. And it's so unfair for the individual like myself because, at the end of the day, I have a given heart. But at some point, you're starting to harden up because you don't want to be taken advantage of. And whether it's family or friends, they start to try to take advantage of you. And that's so unfortunate because me, the person that I am, I'm a very giving person and I want to help. But because when they start doing you wrong, you kind of take a step back and say, hold on, let me look at this a little bit more deeper so that I can realize what's really going on. You start asking questions. You start, I guess you're, you just become a little bit more cautious, if you will. So these are the things that, just answering the question that came in, these are the things that I had to go through. And one of the things that I had to do was say, listen, enough's enough. I cannot do this anymore. I've put certain things in place to assist, but at some point you start feeling like you're being pulled in every which direction, and you start feeling like you're being drained. You have to put your foot down and say, you know what? Listen, we cannot do this way anymore. I provided you with these things. I've told you what you need to do. So, this is what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, we're all individuals, okay? You're going to be trading your account. You're going to have a family, offspring. You have siblings, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandma, granddad, great-grandparents, all that. The whole 9 yards. People are going to start seeing the things that you're going to start purchasing. Oh, they just bought this, or they just bought that, or they just got all this land, they got this house and this and that. So these are the things that people start seeing, and they start assuming that, oh, if they have that, then I need to get some of that. oh, because they have that, it shouldn't be a problem with me coming and saying, well, let me borrow, you know, $1,000 here or $500 there, because, you know, you're getting it like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, we have to realize as well that, you know, things are not guaranteed. So, you know, I know for me, I had to tighten up and I had to say, all right, listen. You know, at the end of the day, this is what we have going on. You know, I've done this for you, but, you know, we have to realize that, you know, if you keep going to the well, that well is going to become dried up at some point. And then not only that, if you're not maintaining the well, you know, think about it. If for some reason, Lord forbid, something ever happened and my well dries up and I can't offer anyone any help and they've been relying on me, it's like, that's why it's so important that we have to sort of reach out, and we do have to help, but we also have to have, keep it, you know, real. Like, hold on. If I give you all of this, then I'm left with nothing. So, you know, you have to be logical when it comes to family and friends. You have to, at least with me, I had to put my foot down and say, all right, listen, you know, I cannot do this. This is not the way it's going to be. You know, we need to set some type of boundaries in place, because if not, you're going to be pulling from the things that I have, and these resources I need for other things that I have going on too. Because the way that I have things set up, which I can get into in another video, I have things set up in a way where they all work together. All right, and these are the types of things that I have put in place so that, you know, I'm not spread thin. I've basically diversified things so that I'm good. So basically, you guys, when you fall into money, when you fall into doing well trading Forex, you know, one thing for certain is the risk level of trading is still going to be there. There are no guarantees. So, you know, people are going to come, people are going to want you to provide financial assistance on this, on that. They're going to want you to do things, ask you things, and you're like, what? You want me to do what? They're going to want you to do things, and, you know, at times it may even become a little, it's going to be a test on you, you know, and unfortunately it can cause relationships to sort of crumble. But try hard not to, you know, work hard at keeping things solid, but just be firm and let people know, hey, listen, you know, let's look at things logically. You know, especially if you're like a person like me, where you want to help and you put things in place to help people. But if people are not willing to help themselves first, what I'm going to do, the kind of person I am, I will find myself, I'm giving everything, and there's no type of give and take. And in any relationship, there's a need of give and take. In a relationship, me being a customer and you being the merchant, in order for me to get what you have, I have to pay you. And then you give it to me. And then when I replenish it, when I use it and I need more, I go back to you. That's why it's so important to do people well, do people right. And that relationship, that concept is in every relationship. Every relationship. If it's a one-way thing, eventually they'll be like, hold on, I'm doing all this and you can't do what? So, you know, we have to remember that relationship, that give and take. It's very important. So that plays a part in you becoming successful. You know, it's going to play a part in how people deal with you, you know, but you have to be firm. You have to put your foot down and let people know. And at the end of the day, I want people to know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you, no, I can't do it. Because at the end of the day, I want you to know that I'm straight up. I'm coming straight from the hip. You're going to know where I'm coming from. That way, I don't want people to assume anything. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to be very thorough with it. And then we just go from there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then, you know, we can find something else. But that's just, hopefully I answered your question. I've had this question asked a couple times, but in different ways. But I kind of touched on some other things along the way in this video. But hopefully this is showing you guys some of the things that I had to go through in my journey up to this point, and I'm pretty sure it's not the last. It's just how it is. I mean, things are going to happen. People are going to need you, and although you may say, no, I can't do it, and inside you're going to want to do it, and you're going to do it because, if you're the only person who can do it, then that's just what it is. You're going to have to do it. So, but, with discretion is what I'm saying, with discretion. You can be firm, but you have to have a little, like, come on now, like, they kind of need this. So with discretion, we make these choices, and these are the types of things you go through. Any man or woman who has found success on any level, they will go through this. Even if you went from making $100 a day to now $300 a day, if people see that you starting to progress, they're going to expect that you can give more, do more. That's just how it is. So, but along the way, these are the types of things, relationships become tarnished, compromise, miscommunication, all these things sort of, they tend to happen because, at the end of the day, we all want our way. So just think about this, you guys. Hopefully, this has answered your question. For those of you who have had this question, you're just wondering, maybe this is something you just wondered, like, am I have to go through this stuff? You will. You have to go through it. But just, be firm, be assertive, be fair, be logical, but, just have fun with it. It's all about, we do this to make money. We do this, and it's fun to make money in the Forex market. But the reality of it is that, when you make money in the market, there's some responsibility that comes along with it. So you guys have nothing short of a fantastic day. I will see you all in the next video. All right, peace.